Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 6 of the Aegyrian Adventurers Guild. I'm your DM, Brad, joined today by all of my players. They're all here, including Drake, but he's not going to be here for much longer, so you better enjoy it while it lasts. Before we begin, as is tradition, we shall be given a recap of what happened during the last session, and this week that responsibility falls once more around the table to Sarah. So, if you would please, without further ado, elucidate us as to what happened last time on the Aegyrian
Last
Adventures
time, a
Guild.
lot of orcs died. And that's pretty much the extent of our session. However, there have been other rather interesting and important highlights. So after we came back to our Adventurers Guild and turned in our last batch of quests, we decided to make our way to Butterskull Range to check on them. I confess I'm not entirely sure on the details. It was a lengthy way, so we had a chance to camp on our way there successfully, not attacked by anything. Only mutant mosquitoes, probably, and Friedrich snoring. But that's business as usual. So, okay, on our way to Butterskull Range, we have encountered horses. Nothing came of it because Freddy scared them away. Then we have encountered a cow, which we managed to befriend. Freddy was very happy about it and decided it should come along. So, adventurers party plus cow making our way to Butterskull Range almost became dragon icicles and dragon snacks because we finally got to meet the white dragon. We made a tactical retreat through the corns, slithering our way to the ranch itself. It didn't look too well. It had corpses in front of it. So we figured we wouldn't have good news to bring back to the Adventurers Guild, but we ventured inside just to check it and clear our consciousness. The inhabitants, or at least the new occupants, weren't friendly. They attacked us. Freddy and Theron were very curious and opened everything all at once, so we were swarmed by orcs. Nona was surprisingly effective in dispatching them. I'm a little bit scared now. Okay, so first floor cleared. We checked the second floor, nothing in there. Then we remembered there was a well. No, there was a basement. Was it a basement? Let's call it a basement. A cellar. Oh, yes, that's the thing, cellar. So we checked the cellar as an afterthought, and we found some more orcs trying to summon other unspeakable things. So basically, we walked into the middle of a ritual, and their intended victim was somewhat alive. We managed to save that fortunate or unfortunate person who turned out to be the owner of the Butterskull Range. The sole survivor of this whole debacle. We got talking, and it turned out he was extremely worried about his special cow, which provided the actual butterskulls. As it turned out, it was Freddy's new friend, and the owner and cow were happily reunited, which gave us a bonus armor for Theron, and now she doesn't sound like a bucket of bolts when trying to sneak around. I think I made that too long. I apologize.
Yeah, it's fine.
Did you manage with a dragon?
Yes, the dragon was mentioned.
Okay.
Yes, so I believe last time we left off, you guys were about to leave Butterskull Ranch and head back to the town, which is a couple of days journey that we're just going to fast forward through, basically. But before we leave the scene completely, there's just a brief sort of moment. Something I like to do sometimes in my games is have a little bit of a scene that occurs like beyond the player's knowledge, just as a thing for. I go well beyond the character's knowledge as a like a thing for the players.
Meanwhile, somewhere
Meanwhile
goes
in
about.
A little like meanwhile in the Empire, yes.
Oh no.
No. So I think basically as we see like the scene of you guys like basically like packing up and leaving the ranch, we're looking at it basically from like far back on the roof of the ranch house over the field. So we see you basically moving out. There is this sort of strange kind of like blackish rift that seems to like open in the air, and for a moment there's a kind of like purplish like a blackish purplish energy within it, and as it sort of like closes, we see there's a sort of like a silhouetted, we're looking at them from behind, this like silhouetted figure sort of sitting on the peak of the roof, looking out, like one hand sort of like propped on like on their elbow on their knee, sort of like hand on their chin, and the other just sort of like over their eyes as if they're sort of like gazing at something far away, and we can't really make out much of their features. They're wearing sort of like dark kind of like clothing, and I think we just hear we hear like a voice that's speaking in a strange language, but we see like subtitles underneath, and it's sort of he says, interesting to think that such a burgeoning light would emerge even here. This ought to be a grand performance. New players for the stage. And we see just sort of disappears.
Were the subtitles yellow?
Came. Totally, yeah, totally yellow. Sure. I think they're red actually. They're like red subtitles. And it's just like a brief little, we see this scene basically of this person, this mysterious figure like appearing, like watching you guys leaving, and then just sort of disappearing.
And we suddenly feel, I don't know, like a cold shiver running down our backs, and we turn, but we see nothing.
Nothing there, yeah. Look behind you, looking at the roof of the building, like there's nothing there though.
Whoa! Did anyone else get an ominous shiver?
Do you think there are friendly shivers?
I'm pretty sure ominous and friendly don't go hand in hand.
They're ominously friendly.
Must be the brain.
That's actually a thing.
Yeah, so I think we see that, and then basically we cut ahead a couple days pass basically as you take the trail back through the ruined village of Connieberry, and then down the tribal trail to Phandalin, where you arrive, about like in the middle of the day. We will say that you basically like go to the town master. We're not gonna do it every single time. You go to the town master and collect your reward.
Welcome back, spell slots.
He does it in the old-fashioned way of one by one sliding 100 individual gold pieces under the door.
Oh my god.
You. You can't imagine.
Okay,
You're not exactly sure how long this could keep up, because if the rewards keep going up, it's going to take a very long time to slide one coin at a time underneath the door. But regardless of that, you sort of wait around while he does that, and you turn in the quest back at the Adventurers Guild, and I assume basically go to find Sug. He's around. He's
That was 100 gold, right?
Yes.
Everyone gets 25 gold. Woohoo!
Ooh. What
So
can we buy with that
Triple
gold?
digit.
I'm still in double digits because I think I bought some stuff last session.
Yeah, you brought a sword.
Mhm.
Bought a sword. Oh, an armor here in that adventures pack. Alright, the loggers camp's next, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Endless
I
fresh
suppose we should
supplies.
take those supplies.
Yes,
Yep.
indeed.
Sug!
Hey, where have you gone to?
Oh, you know, I was in the tavern. I was spending some time there. It's fine. No big deal.
Want to come help us escort some supplies to the loggers' camp?
Sure.
Dope. Oh yeah, I'd probably make a report to Fiora, the NPC Fiora, not our Fiora,
Oh
about
yeah.
the fact that the dragon was at the ranch.
All right. Yeah, you
And-
report that, and
Yeah, and something about that weird ritual they were doing in the basement as well. So what's up? What's that about?
oh my, oh my, that is disconcerting.
Yeah,
Slight
it was-
understatement.
It was real weird. But luckily the man's still alive, as is his cow, although his farmhands weren't too lucky.
That would really be unfortunate for them. I wonder if he'll be able to hire new people under the circumstances.
Well, dragons, like, only attack place once. They're like lightning, alright? That's like a thing.
Definitely.
I think you're the only one that's heard that.
just making shit up. Oh man. But yeah, so you can accept basically the other quest. It's still there when you arrive. You see somebody has taken the escort quest. You know, seeing as you didn't want to do it, somebody else has gone to attempt it.
Well,
But
they definitely made the wrong choice.
Doug's
but you
just
can
like
see that
pushing
the-
down a piece of paper into his belt.
Yeah, I already
Yeah.
did that later. I did that earlier, you know.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah. So you see basically that the loggers camp quest is still available, and so basically the first things first, you will have to go and pick up the provisions to be sent to the camp, and you could do so from the general store, Barthen's Provisions. So you, I assume you take the quest and make your way over there.
Yep.
So, as you arrive, you can see it's, your run-of-the-mill sort of like general store. It seems to stock many like ordinary goods and supplies. Basic adventuring gear, but not like too much or not too expensive. They don't have like weapons and armor. It's just mostly just like food and like provisions for like people around the town, and then like a couple of like things like rope and bedrolls and whatnot. But for the most part, it's just sort of like a general store, and you can see as you're like arriving, there's like a cart out front that is currently sort of being tied up to an ox by it looks like a couple of young clerks. Looks like a couple of like young men or something, maybe in their like early 20s or something, that are kind of like loading up this cart and this wagon. And you see there is this sort of lean, balding man. He looks to be in his about his like 50s, sort of like looking over them. You see he's got like pretty like a freckled face, and kind of like heavy bags under his eyes, and seems to like a lot of like sun damage on his skin. And yeah, as he's sort of like crossing his arm, like looking over them, as you like approach, he sort of waves, and he says, "I expect by your appearance that you're the ones that I'm waiting for. Move this here shipment."
You would be correct. You harbin. It says Wait. Nope. Yes.
Are these things meant to go to the loggers' camp?
Yeah, he sort of nods and says, "Yes, sir. This here is a delivery for Tybor Wester to the loggers' camp to the north." And he says, "My clerk's here finished filling the crates with supplies," and he reaches into his like his sleeve, and like you see he pulls out this sort of like rolled up parchment, which he just hands to whoever's like the closest one. And as you like unfurl it and look over it, you can see it appears to be like a written inventory of the crate's contents. You see there's like foodstuffs, like dried meat, blocks of cheese, loaves of bread. There's some casks of ale, flasks of oil, just various like supplies and sundry and whatnot. And you see that you basically have like a manifest of everything in there. Yeah, you can see there's like this 2-wheeled cart that is pulled by this ox, and he says, the ox's name is Vincent, and I'll expect to see him in the cart returned. When you're done, just take this inventory and just have it signed when you get to your destination.
All right, sounds good.
Hey, we get to travel in comfort for a change.
That's
What
a
is
new one.
What is driving the cart determined by skill-wise, Brad? Is it handle animal or animal handling? Sorry.
Yeah, it's probably like an animal handed, but it's not like there's no check just to like drive it, right? The only reason there would be a check is if like some sort of strenuous situation came up. Otherwise, like a trained ox, like piloting like a cart with a trained oxen is not difficult.
If
Yes.
it makes you feel better, I have proficiency in land vehicles and animal handling.
Yeah, all right.
This guy.
Sug is
driving.
driving.
Sug's driving. He's got his driver's license.
Mhm.
Yeah, so he says, well, I'll leave it up to you which way to head up there. You can always go the straight route, but if you're looking to maybe spend the night in the forest a little somewhere safer, you can veer out of your way, and there's a little hunting lodge set up out there. He says, man by the name of Falcon runs it. He says,
Whereabouts the lodge?
oh, he says, well, it's a little bit out of the ways, but it ain't gonna add much distance to your journey, or at least no more time spent, really. And he sort of says, it's about like, let's say, 15 miles, kind of the east of the loggers' camp, up one of the tributaries.
2 miles east of the loggers' camp.
Boom.
Oh yeah, fair.
He says, if you're going that way, though, I would suggest that you purchase a fine bottle of wine and give it to him as a gift, just to get on his good side.
Is he not used to
Out
company?
of
He says, no, well, I mean, not many folks head out that way these days, you know, what with the dragon flying around and all that. Kind of, a lot of the small game has been scared out of the forest or taken by the dragons, so, you know, there's not a whole lot of demand for a hunting lodge, you know, these times.
Fair point. Fair point. We'll keep it in mind. Bottle of wine, eh? How much is a bottle of wine?
So a bottle of a wine. Barthen says he has some available. Some like fine wines that would make for a nice gift. One bottle is 10 gold.
Nope.
What are we thinking, team? I had a look, and it is actually quicker. Like, distance-wise. It's like 85 miles to like go that way. But if we follow the road up past Not Neverwinter, it's like 100 miles.
Um, are you really ready to part with a good bottle of wine just for 15 miles?
That's the question. What do y'all think?
What if he's a werewolf?
Where's this
hiding.
coming? Where's this coming from?
Do you have experience?
Come on, secluded lodge in the middle of the forest, making a detour, reaching it by nightfall.
Is it a full moon today?
I'm not sure what kind of bard's tales you've been listening to.
Free tricks. I mean, yeah, it will shave off like 15, 20 miles, but we
Well,
do have to go
question is-
through the woods.
How fast can we drive a cart through the woods?
Oh yeah, how fast is it,
And-
Brad?
And what
it
if the
doesn't,
animal's not...
It doesn't like slow you down by like any appreciable amount.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
And
you'll still be able to cover the normal like 24 miles in a day or whatever. Or really, we'll just call it whatever, like 5 hexes or whatever. So yeah.
okay, any other opinions?
So the question is, do we want to take it all the way? Like,
Well, I mean, there's a few ways. Like you could the obviously like the most like safe quote unquote would be to like go all the way like around and just like follow the
taking the
river
road.
up. You could also just go as the crow flies and just beeline straight there.
Yeah, I get that. That seems, but that is definitely more dangerous. I mean, I don't know. Is time constraint a problem for everyone, or
Are we in a hurry? I mean, why are we in a hurry?
that's what I mean? Yeah, is there a crucial event I don't know about?
No,
No,
nothing
not
really
particularly.
seems time sensitive.
Yeah, so basically like if you did this, if you went straight through, you'd be like camping in the forest during one night. Whereas if you go around this way, you'll be able to spend the night here and then the next day go there.
But the safest
I'm
way
not-
is to go this way.
I'm not fond of spending the night in the forest.
Me neither.
I like my comfort.
Oh, it's up to you.
I don't mind either way, to be honest.
Hmm.
But someone else
I
will have
don't-
to spend the 10 gold for the wine.
I vote him out first.
What do you say?
I vote we hit the lodge first.
1 vote for Lodge.
Alright, I'll vote Lodge. Just because we're
2
gonna go through the forest that way.
2 votes
It's
for
partially.
Lodge.
Oh, I abstain. I don't.
And that pretty much means we're going to the lodge.
Very well. Who's buying the wine then? Because I ain't.
That's the main question.
I'll support the drunk bard.
Does he need wine?
I'll pitch in
Falcon.
5.
There,
needs
then you'll
wine.
have to guard the bottle very carefully from our friend Friedrich here.
I think the truth, yeah, that's the real thing. To support the bar, you have to make sure he doesn't get any wine.
I mean,
That's what a real friend would do. Help him cure his disease.
I'm pretty sure I did say support drunk bard.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I'll pitch in 5.
And
gold for
I
wine,
still
someone else
haven't
can speak.
learned how to do those zigzag arrows.
You just right click as you're drawing an arrow.
Yeah, you just right click on the point
Or
you
hit-
want to stop, and then it keeps
Or
drawing.
hit Q.
Yeah, or Q, I guess.
Alright, we got our rogue pitching in 5 gold.
I'll do the
who's
inner
pitching?
5.
Alright, perfect. The monk who never has to buy gear is first safe.
Hey, I might get it for a potions, you never know.
Alright,
Alright.
Oh, I learned to do the zigzag! Yay! I'm an advanced adventurer.
Good job. Level up.
Congrats. Level up. You've leveled up on your roll 20
the
use.
Adventurers Guild orientation course. How to make right arrow clicks.
Oh, man.
One of the most important things.
Yeah, so you purchased the wine and Barthen says, a fine choice. This will make you fast friends with Falcon, and it'll give you the upper hand in dealing with him.
Right on.
I'll take that.
Do you know much about the risks in the forests? I don't think any of us have ever been in there before.
Well, on a normal day, well, you'd have to deal with all sorts of nasty beasties, wild boars, bears, other sorts of critters, but the dragon scared most of them away from these parts, so forest is actually pretty quiet, most things considered.
Well, hopefully we don't run into the dragon.
Yeah, that would be mighty inconvenient now, wouldn't it?
Alright, let's go.
And he says,
Thanks again.
one more thing before you go. Like I said, I expect that ox and that cart back, and if I don't get them back, you're gonna be liable for that. You hear me?
Oh,
They'll be safe as houses. Don't
Do
worry.
you have dragon insurance?
And he just sort of shrugs. He says, I have insurance for a lot of things. You know, dragon, I'm sure it's covered.
Sure.
I'm afraid your
And we
insurance
should be all good.
I'm afraid, sir, your insurance only covers up to CR8.
Oh, he's good then.
Oh, okay, it's not bad, dragon. Then cool. All right, to the camp.
All right.
Well, the lodge first.
All right, yeah. So you guys begin to head out, ox and cart in tow. Like I said, it's just like a 2-wheel cart. So there's like a seat basically for like a driver, and that's about it. Nobody can actually like fit in the cart or ride in it. So you're just like walking along next to it. Yeah. So the first day, kind of like you're on the like main road, heading up the Tribord Trail and whatnot. Things are relatively uneventful as far as those things go. You pass through the first day with no problem, basically. And yeah, then the second day is basically the first foray into the woods. Basically, as you guys are making your way into the woods, I guess who is going to be like the like navigator? Making sure everybody's like keeping on track in the woods, as opposed to like sort of on the road.
What skill is that?
It's a survival.
Not me.
Survival.
Who's got survival?
I mean, I do, but I'm also piloting the cart, so it's up to
You
guys.
can do both.
Survival is of wisdom, right?
Mhm.
Who's
Yeah,
the
no.
wisest one here?
Nope.
Yeah, you and the cleric.
Okay, I
You don't want
suppose
me to-
I will try and survive in the first rows.
We believe in you.
Nona could get lost in her own house.
Friedrich has.
Why are you in Nona's house?
All right. So, if you would please, then, if you're kind of like leading the way through the forest, kind of cutting the path, go ahead and make for me a survival check.
Survival. Let's see. I am somewhat survived.
Yes. So, with a 14, you do not basically within the first like sort of mile of travel into the forest, you do not stray from your path. You manage to stay on course.
Avoid all the fallen logs and I don't know, burrows and holes in the ground and little
Yeah,
animals.
You don't get
Things
Meanwhile,
like
behind
that.
you, everyone's
lost
just
or
stumbling,
anything like
falling over.
But yeah, so as you're traveling, you're at the approaching the end of this like little like 5-mile like stint into the woods. It hasn't been too long since you started to set out. You can see basically shortly after that about like 60 feet ahead of you, there's kind of an area where this like small clearing opens up, and you see what looks to be this wild boar sort of standing in the clearing. And as you're making your way, like the cart's making a lot of noise, like it's like snapping twigs underneath the wheels, and the ox is kind of making like grunting noise. So it sort of like turns its head towards you, and kind of like begins just sort of like glaring at you like suspiciously, just kind of like pawing the ground with its like front hooves basically.
Mr. Animal Handling.
Yes, I'm. What's that? What am I doing? What am I trying to do?
There's a beast in front of us that's not
Sort of
happy.
trying to charge at us.
Mr. Animal Handling, deal with it, please.
Okay, I got it.
What?
Oh.
That's not.
Well, that's one
not-
way to do it.
That's not. I mean, it's handling the animal.
Handled.
Animal handled.
Taken care of.
Is that
Wait,
is
what
that
different
what you're
animal-
doing?
I didn't hear what animal was. What animal was this?
It's a boar.
It's charging us, or
No,
is it
it's just standing
Oh.
basically in your path in a clearing, like
Oh,
glaring at you, and kind of like digging into the ground with its like front
yeah.
feet.
I'll try to shoo it away. I'll actually try to handle it. I'll do the exact same number and roll.
Yeah, so you like begin to kind of like approach it in the manner that you would any other sort of like wild creature, just sort of like nice and slow, like calm voice, not making any sort of like sudden gestures. And you see it just sort of like it continues to like glare at you, and it's weird because normally you can kind of like get a read on like how an animal is feeling from like its body language and whatnot. There's something that seems just like a little bit off about it, but it doesn't like attack you or anything like that. It just seems to just about like be watching you. It does, like, as you get like closer, kind of like within its like territory, quote unquote. It does kind of like give this sort of like squealing snort at you. Kind of just like, again, kind of like bearing its tusks, but it doesn't like charge you or anything like that.
I mean, could we just go around it, or is it like completely blocking where we're?
Yeah, I mean, you could just go around it.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll tell them, like, yeah, it's just guarding this area. We just gotta go around. It lives here. We're in its home.
And we're trespassing.
Exactly.
So let's go around nicely and quietly and don't bother the boar. And
Don't
it won't
get us-
bother us.
Yeah,
Don't get us lost.
I literally thought Friedrich said that it was charging. I was like, oh, okay, I'll handle this animal, I guess.
Yeah, so you guys like chart a course basically like around this clearing. And I think as you're kind of like coming around to the other side, what is everybody's passive perceptions again? I don't have your tokens on this. sheet.
Perception?
My
10.
PP is 13.
I have 10 PP.
Wait. Perception is based off wisdom, so which number do you want?
So basically whatever it says your bonus for perception is, just add 10 to it.
13.
Okay, so you and Sug both have 13.
13 PP.
I think basically like the both of you basically notice as you're kind of like moving around on the other side. You kind of like hear like the sound of like rustling basically like behind you, and you see like you turn back to like look, and you see the boar basically that was like standing there, kind of like watches you for a moment and then like darts off towards like the east out of this clearing like relatively quickly.
Okay, that was one suspicious boar.
Falcon was a wereboar the entire time. Sarah called it.
If I had more than 7 intelligence, I might have some assumptions about that boar, but I don't care.
You have 7 intelligence?
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so you guys are in this square, and it kind of ran off in like this direction basically.
Let's keep moving.
Yeah, so you keep continuing to travel onwards, I assume.
Sug is not book learned.
So can you give me another survival check as you navigate through the next?
Do you want me to
Survival?
Do you want me to do it this
No.
time?
Can we both do it? Oh, no, we survived.
Okay.
More comfortably than the previous round.
Yeah, so this time
Because we're approaching human lodging and the area gets clearer and maybe we stumble upon a path, a more trodden, like little path in the grass, I don't know.
Yeah, you begin
Because
to
we're
see
approaching the lodge.
you begin to see signs of like a path that's kind of been cut through the brush. Obviously, it doesn't seem like it's been used in some time, but you can like notice the signs basically, and press onwards. And then so that gets you there. And then I just need one last final survival check basically, to see if you arrive successfully.
Oh, better
All
and
right.
better.
Just getting better and better. More and more
Yes, because
confident
we're
as you go
approaching
along.
human lodgings.
All right. So yeah, you begin to like pick up all the signs now as you're getting closer and closer, and it becomes easier and easier the closer you get to this destination. And eventually, you see basically up ahead. You're kind of like coming out of this clearing, kind of like along this river tributary. And you see there's this sort of like thin fog that surrounds what looks to be a fortified compound that's standing in a clearing on the east side of a narrow river. There's a 10-foot-high log palisade that surrounds this compound, whose main building is this 2-story stone and wood affair with this high-pitched roof, gables, window shutters, and a stone chimney. A rather fancy-looking building out here in the middle of nowhere. Attached to the main building, you see a blocky tower of gray stone, its high roof lined with battlements. There are a couple of other structures, including what appears to be a stable house and a gatehouse with a flat roof, enclosed by iron railings. And there's a stone bridge spanning the river that you are basically on the other side of this bridge. So you see this compound on the other side of this little river that ends in this oaken door set in the gatehouse's outer wall. And you see, as you're approaching, mounted next to the door, there's a bell with a short rope hanging from the clapper.
What the fuck? I think Friedrich would say it's like, I was expecting like a little wooden hut, not like a full compound.
Yeah, this definitely looks more promising than what I was expecting.
Yeah, it really does. All right. Guess I'll ring the bello.
Sure.
A ring a ding ding.
Okay, so you
Wait,
see
did that last quest of lesson?
No,
Can you play a melody using the bell?
you have to complete.
Yeah, he maybe rings it a few times enthusiastically.
Just making sure I didn't miss him.
Yeah, you have to complete 2 of the current tier of quests to gain a level at this point. All right, yeah. So you approach the door and basically like ring this bell, and eventually you kind of like hear some like movement, and you see sort of like up on the roof of this gatehouse. You see like a man emerge, sort of like looking over. He sort of seems to be older, kind of like wrinkled skin, gray, long gray, grayish white hair, and he looks over and he just sort of, who goes there?
Adventure Guild folk. Are you Falcon?
He says, no, I'm Corwin. And he says, for what pleasure do we owe this visitation? We weren't expecting visitors.
We have to make a delivery to the lumber yard due west of here. He sort of thinks for a second. I'm wondering if we could spend the night. And he sort of like turns around. Whoever's got the wine, hold it up. Hold up the bottle.
I got it.
Yes, you hold it up, and he like glares. He's like, well, my eyesight isn't so great in my old age, but I can see that you've brought a little bit of a gift. And he says, that's good. And he says, well, we're always happy to have visitors staying over. He says, you're, of course, we have a guest house that you are free to stay in. We have some more comfortable rooms if you're willing to pay, but you could stay in the guest house for free. And he says, just give me a moment. These brittle old bones take a while to get down this ladder. I'll open the door for you.
Fiora, what are you trying to do?
Connecting the trees.
Oh. Okay.
There.
Yeah, so
That's cool.
eventually a few like moments pass, and he sort of like opens this front door. You see it there. It like leads into this gatehouse and like into the thing. There's just like a big wide open entryway into the big yard, basically like through it. And I assume he kind of like leads you in. You all pile in.
Mm-hmm. Friedrich would sort of say it's like, wow, this place is a lot fancier than what I expected. We're told it was a hunting lodge.
He says,
This place looks like a full-on fortress.
Well, this place caters to nobles from out of Vesper Bay. They come here to go on their grand hunts, so it has to be a little bit on the up and up. You see, although we haven't seen much traffic, much visitors in the last few months, ever since that blasted dragon showed up. He says, nevertheless, allow me to give you the
You
tour.
built this place.
And he sort of says, oh, no, this place has been along for quite a long time. I believe Falcon's father owned it, and his father before him, and I think he won it in a card game from somebody or something. I've heard this story a million times, but I can't remember in my old age, you see. Things are starting to slip. And he says,
Where is Falcon?
"Oh, he's going to be in the main building." He says, the trophy hall and whatnot. Yeah, well, she here," and he kind of gestures to the building kind of on the left, and he says, "That there is the guest house. It's where you can stay for free if you like." And you see it basically kind of like, it looks almost kind of like a barn, essentially. It doesn't look like a super like fancy looking building compared to like the main sort of structure of the area. And you can see there's like this stone building here. And he says, "We also have some private rooms in the actual main hall if you're willing to pay for them. But otherwise, you can stay for free there in the guest house." And he says, "Over down yonder ways," he kind of points over to the south. "That's where we keep the stables and the smithy and whatnot." And he says, "And the building in front of us here. It's the main structure. The kitchen and pantry. That's our dining and trophy hall. And upstairs, you got your master bedrooms and whatnot." And he says, the Master Falcon, he stays there, of course, got his own room." He says, "A humble little place, but it's got all the trappings you need."
Are you like the caretaker?
He says, I'm the cook, basically. I do a lot of cooking. Occasionally, look out of the gate when the stable hands out or otherwise busy. There ain't much of us here. It's just Falcon, myself, and Pell. We kind of look over this place. We had more staff once upon a time, but they all kind of got scared away.
By the dragon?
Yeah, well, and other things."
Other
Turn back.
things?
He says, "Yeah, there's some nasty voice and been showing up lately in the forests. Falcon, he made his living hunting such creatures, so he knows a thing or two about fighting them off. But even still, it kind of terrifies some of the folk, and they up and left."
Interesting.
Well, I suppose we'll take that as a warning.
Does this Falcon guy ring any bells? He said like he made his living killing Void Scent. Is this like a famous adventure or something that we maybe have heard of?
You can make a history check.
What does history?
11.
Nah, the name doesn't really like sound familiar to you.
Fair enough.
It doesn't seem like, judging by like, it doesn't seem like a real name. Like, this name probably isn't Falcon. It's probably like a pseudonym or something. But
Apparently, he didn't slay enough with the song written about him, so that's why you don't know it.
Maybe he just doesn't know the song. Friedrich only knows a few songs. They all follow the same tune as well.
You
Well, this
haven't
guy-
sung Secret Tunnels in a while.
We've not found a secret tunnel. Well, this guy offered a tour, so I'll happily take him up on
So
it.
he sort of shouts out and he says, Pal, where are you, boy?" And you see this young boy basically comes like running from around a corner, just sort of like nodding. And he says, "Pal, look after that there oxen and cart while I take the guests around the premises." And he just sort of like nods and kind of like takes the lead from whoever is kind of like moving along the cart, and begins to like lead it off to the south.
Ox moose.
You guys, basically, he sort of takes you into the guest hall first and foremost. And looking inside, you can see that it's a relatively like simple affair. There's basically like a carpet of straw covering a dirt floor, and like 9 cots basically like arranged around the room with soft pillows and thick wool blankets. But there's no like privacy. There's no divisions or anything. It's just like a big sort of like barracks kind of situation. And he says, "You're free to stay here if you like, and put your gear away. It's almost dinner time, so we'll be heading there soon."
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and so he's like, "Feel free to like put down your heavy packs or whatnot, and he'll wait for."
I think this will do nicely for the night.
Yeah, and so then he, as he waits for you all to like put down your belongings, and he says, All right, now let me take you on down yonder to the dining hall, and he kind of like leads you across the way, kind of to this other door over here.
While we're touring around, I keep my eyes out for any valuable looking things that aren't bolted down.
Suspicious.
God, fucking klepto rogue.
Classic. Yeah, so he like leads you over and into this this other building here, and you can see in there, sort of this large, sort of 2-story dining hall essentially. There's like this trophy gallery that opens up above an oak dining table, surrounded by these tall-backed chairs, and there's like 2 big iron chandeliers hanging from the high rafters, and it's relatively well decorated. You can see there's a bunch of like mounted animal heads and trophies from various like kills and hunts around the place. Carpets and whatnot. It's decorated like you would expect a hunting lodge to be decorated.
Friedrich sort of like cautiously steps onto the carpet.
And he says, "What's the
So
matter,
you did
boy?
learn something.
Nerves got the best of you." And he says, "That creature, she won't bite. She hasn't bitten for nigh on 20 years, I suspect."
Ah, I'm sure it's
Aaron
fine.
just walks behind Friedrich and just growls quietly.
What type of like monsters are on the walls?
You see, there's a lot of just like normal creatures, right? It's not like monsters. It's just like deer and bears, and I think there's maybe like an owl bear head or something like that. Like there's a couple of like more unique creatures, but a lot of it is just like your standard sort of like affair, right? Normal creatures. Nothing crazy.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And he
Nothing
says,
looking at us out of the corner of their eyes, no following the movement.
No, they're all well and truly dead.
Okay.
Animate
so far,
object.
so good.
Yeah, I think he sort of like shows you, like takes you up to the upper gallery and kind of like shows you some of the kills and kind of like talks a bit about like the story behind them. Like, oh, this was hunted by this noble who came here at such and such a time, and it was a big fight, etc., etc. He seems to know a lot about all the different things here, and then he offers to sort of like show you the deluxe bedroom if anybody is interested. There's only one available, but for a charge.
I think Nona's the only one who can afford it. Friedrich is definitely sleeping in the barn, comforted by his new armor.
So yeah, as he like shows you it, as you're like looking over it, I guess you can see that it's a very luxurious bed chamber. There's a wash basin, like a box of what appears to be like tobacco and like a pipe. You can see the mattress appears to be sort of like down stuffed and rather soft and comfortable looking. There's like this big like 4-poster bed. There's some like mounted trophies in the room as well. Like a little kind of like vanity almost to kind of like look over yourself. Straighten your hair and whatnot.
How much is it?
Yeah, so if you ask, he says, we typically charge 10 gold for a stay in the night.
Friedrich will pass.
I'll take it.
Of course.
Since you just mentioned you like luxury and comfort.
I do.
Yeah, he says, Falcon will be mighty pleased, and yeah, so he'll accept the payment or whatever, and allow you to sort of.
Does the rug in here look more comfortable than the bed in the guest house?
Maybe, maybe not. I mean, the beds in the guest house are like they're beds, right? Like they're not just like planks of wood or anything like that. So.
Or a mattress.
Those beds would probably be more comfortable than sleeping on the floor.
It's okay. Friedrich is used to the hobo lifestyle.
But yeah, so he kind of shows you through that, yeah, then I guess like the last thing, he kind of takes you to some of the animal pens in the south, and then kind of like points out basically like the outhouse if you need to use it during your stay. Other than that, he sort of takes you to the main dining hall once more, sort of like beckoning you to sit down around the table. And he says, "I'll fetch the master to come visit with you." And he says, "Keep that wine bottle handy." And he sort of smiles.
Radio.
Yeah, so he leaves you kind of like on your lonesome in the dining hall. You're kind of sitting around.
Okay, I guess now we get to meet the falcon.
Yeah, maybe you can tell.
Are valuable.
Yeah, I mean, looking around the room, nothing really like catches your eye as something that would be easily sort of absconded with. I mean, the trophies are probably valuable. It's just, there's no way you can like.
But there is no easy way to haul a boar head out of here.
Someday when I'm back.
Maybe someday. Although fitting it into the opening of the bag of holding is a whole nother story. But yeah, so you wait there for a few minutes before eventually you see the man returns, and he is followed by a younger looking man who has like shortish kind of like brown hair, big sort of like heavy kind of like sideburns, his chin and mustache sort of shaved, and you see he has this sort of like fur-lined cloak over what appears to be like studded leather armor, and he is tall. He looks to be about like 6.5 feet tall, with like broad shoulders, bright blue cold eyes that almost are sort of as sharp as ice, and he kind of like moves with this casual confidence, kind of like giving off this attitude of somebody who like doesn't fear anything. Yeah, as he sort of like enters into the room, I'll show you kind of like a little bit more kind of like what he looks like. That's kind of a general gist. As you see, he's got this big sort of scar on the right hand side of his face. But yeah, he sort of walks into the room, like looking you over, and he says, "I'm told that you're here to stay the night. Well, and that you've brought a gift."
Turn to Nona.
I had a question. Does anyone remember the name of the guy who sent us off with the supplies?
No.
No, I was just gonna say the shopkeeper
No,
handling it.
I'll pull it out.
And he's sort of
That's
like,
because the logical thing to do would be to mention that guy and tell him we were directed by the shopkeeper.
and he just sort of like smiles as you like pull it out, and he says, "A woman after my own heart." And he says, "I recognize a fine bottle of wine when I see it. A nice vintage you've got there. Whoever recommended to you surely knew their stuff." And he says,
Oh, I'm a bit of a connoisseur myself.
sort of nods, and he says, "Well, let us not wait then, and partake of this grand occasion." And he says, "Corwin assures me that dinner will soon be on its way, so why don't we take the first tasting?" And he moves over to a cabinet, and you can see there's a number of like kind of like wine glasses within, and he kind of takes them out and kind of puts them around the table, and he takes out this sort of like uncorking corkscrew and kind of like pops open the bottle and serves each of you. And it's it's a nice wine. Nothing like super fancy and expensive, but it's nicer than what you're used to. It's nicer than like tavern swill wine.
Friedrich is a Philistine. This is alcohol, all right, is what he's thinking.
And he sort of says, "I'm a bit curious as to what brings you to these parts here, my quaint little lodge."
We're doing a delivery of supplies to a logging camp due west of here. The shopkeeper at Fandolin recommended this place as a layover. Recommended the wine, too.
He sort of nods. And he says, "We haven't really gotten much in the way of folks coming around these parts, so it's good to see company once again. I kind of get lonely here, by myself and just my two helpers.
Yeah.
Tell me, you see anything odd in the woods on your way here?
I don't think I saw the boar, did I?
I mean, everybody saw the boar. It was just standing in plain sight. But you
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
you didn't notice. I think Sug was the only one that noticed the strangeness of its kind of attitude as he was trying to interact with it.
Mention the boar, so.
Yeah, so I can tell him that they ran into a boar that acted rather perturbed and standoffish and kind of refused to back down from its area that it was guarding.
And sort of
But then after it watched us leave, it ran away.
sort of nods and says, yeah, I've seen some strange activity from the local creatures myself. And he says, I for one think that it's the dealings of those nasty void scent that have been cropping up. They've got the whole forest kind of stirred up, as it were.
Your chef did mention the void scent. And you'll say it's have they shown up a lot more recently? We've encountered them a few times as well.
And he sort of nods. He says, yeah, a lot of them seem to be appearing. Don't really know where from. And he says, orcs, a lot of them. And he says, I've also noticed there's a couple of half-orcs prowling around, too. Not really sure how they got down here or what they're up to, but I see them prowling around with these little stick creatures creeping around. Looking mighty suspicious.
Big creatures?
Yeah, bundles of twigs or something, moving like people. Never seen nothing like that before.
Like a
Strange.
scarecrow?
Friends of yours?
And he shakes his head. Can't stand them.
That was at Sug.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't say anything to that. He just ignores it.
I think Sug's pretending to be human and not half-orc.
So I think Friedrich would ask, it's well, how much do you know about void scent? None of us really seem to be that familiar with them.
And he says, can't say I really know much about them either, other than just the best ways to kill them. And he says, I've been fighting off void scent in these woods for quite a long time. He says, mostly orcs, but I see a couple of the big bruisers from time to time. He says, they tend to crop up. First time I've ever seen so many, though. And he says, plus they seem to be kind of dwelling around a place, kind of creeping around. Strange, odd behavior. Normally they just kind of show up and do their thing, raid a village or something like that, attack a logging camp or something along those lines. But these ones, they seem to be prowling around, keeping an eye on an area, as if they're watching something.
Have you ever?
Have they
Sorry.
have they given you trouble over here?
And he says, nothing more than I can handle myself. And he says, but I hear they've been giving trouble elsewhere. He says, I take them out when I see them, but no, they're mostly just keeping to themselves, I think, around that strange mansion.
There is a mansion around these parts?
And he says,
The shopkeeper didn't say anything about it.
He says, well, I mean, was a mansion. Now it's nothing more than a ruin. He says, ancient. They say it was built by a scholar or something long, long ago. He says, studied some of the ruins scattered around the woods. He says, but it's long since been abandoned and overgrown with vines. He says, it's a little whiles away from here. 10 miles to the east, give or take.
If the void scent have been causing you trouble, have you considered going there and maybe trying to root them out?
Sort of shakes his head and says, my days of going out adventuring are behind me. And he says, Plus, like it or not, there's far too many of them and only one of me. And he says, perhaps if somebody else were to go out there, it'd be a worthy reward in it. But he kind of like looks at all of you, and he just sort of says, I've got an eye for people, and I just don't think you're quite up to the task just yet.
We're too low level, curses. Well, maybe we can come back and deal with that another day.
We'll just have to keep it in mind.
Yeah. I think Friedrich would ask is, well, recently we had to go up to Butterskull Ranch and dealt with some void scent. It looked like some of the orcs in the basement were doing some kind of like ritual thing. Looks like they were gonna sacrifice some people, and there was a strange portal. Have you ever seen anything like that before?
Sort
I
of,
never knew void scent did things like that.
shakes his head, says, no, that one's news to me. Doesn't sound very good, whatever it is.
Luckily, we were able to stop them, but yeah, that was very strange.
Yeah, I think kind of like during your conversation, like, the old man kind of like brings out trays of food, and you see there's like a roast boar and like a spread of like fresh vegetables and whatnot, and it all looks like pretty like well made and appetizing. And as you eat, basically, it's actually like pretty delicious. It is very very high quality. Kind of like the presentation and taste and texture and all that is obviously like they are used to like serving like nobles. It's very refined.
Oh man, it's awesome.
This is really tasty indeed.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess like you guys like sort of mill away through dinner time, sort of idle conversation, talking back and forth about your journeys and whatnot. And eventually, the time comes to kind of settle down for the night. The most of you kind of go to the guest house, basically. Pick a cot, any cot, and lay down for the night. Nona, you are kind of like led up to the big fancy guest room where you can stay for the night. And yeah, I think you guys settle down and you take a long rest, and everything is nice and peaceful.
Does it mean I get my HP and my hit dice and my key back?
Yeah, you should
You should've
basically be you should be at max now. It's been a couple of days, so.
Anyways, drop
The wounds healed, the bruises went away.
Yep.
The clothes has been sewn back together.
Yeah, so I think you guys spend some time here, and then unless there's anything else, I think you guys will head out first thing in the morning.
Yep.
Question: did Nona get do a sweep of the guest room for valuables?
I was gonna say in the 4 hours after my trance while everyone else is sleeping, I snoop around, but I didn't want to hold up the game too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean we can like there's not really like there's not really much of like value per se, just lying around, because there's no guests, right? Like if there was nobles staying here, there might be, but as it is, it's kind of just his stuff, and it's not really.
Also, typically, whenever you rob someone and we're the only people here visiting, then usually we get in trouble. But
For being the main suspect.
I don't think that far ahead.
Consequences be damned. Yeah, so I think he also kind of like provides you like a local map basically to your destination, and
Directions
Yeah, it
to
gives you-
reach the lodge.
gives you directions, and with that basically you don't need to make any sort of like survival checks. You can just follow his directions, and eventually you come across the scene. You see basically there's a logging camp that is spread along the south shore of the river. There are a dozen tents basically arranged on a sandy beach. There's like a little dock that juts out into the river, and there's like a log cabin nearby with like a stack of logs kind of underneath an awning. There's some older cabins close by that look as though they've been torn down, and all that remains is stone chimneys and like foundations. And it is eerily silent. You don't see any signs of people or activity anywhere nearby as you first arrive.
Hello.
Oh my god, I was about to say to keep quiet.
Should have said it
But I
fast.
guess it's too late for that.
As we arrive here, I'm going to have everybody roll initiative. Now, it's not combat, but it's sort of like like a high stress situation, sort of. So I'm just gonna have everybody moving in turn order.
You guys can go ahead.
Something is obviously not right.
Doug just is like, what?
I'm piloting the cow or the oxen. I'm back.
You guys can arrange yourselves however, like in this like little entry like area here. You can kind of arrange yourselves however you were traveling at the time.
Did I manage to call out my hello?
Oh,
Yeah.
So
like,
last
you
time we
shout
saved
out,
a cow,
basically.
now we're fighting one.
You shout.
I don't think we're fighting it. I think that's our cow.
That's our cow.
I mean, our ox and the cart.
Oh. Fun times.
Yeah. There's no response to your shouting, Friedrich.
All right. I turned to Sug. Watch the cart. I don't want to be liable for the contents in the ox. And I'll draw my swords.
Sure.
And then I'll step out. I'll step forward.
Okay.
Anyone alive here
All
or
right,
dead?
one
Either
second.
works.
When you step.
Are you
here,
familiar with necromancy?
when you get to there, Friedrich, after moving 10 feet, you basically like feel like a tremor in the ground. Like the ground kind of like shakes, and you see over here, this sort of like disturbance. Like the earth kind of begins to like rise up, and then suddenly you hear this horrible sort of like clattering, shrieking noise as this large creature tunnels up from under the earth, and you see basically this kind of like strange insectoid creature. And I will give everybody a pop-up basically of what you see.
What the fuck is? I've never seen this before.
Yeah, so
Is
you
it
see
that
this
stick creature?
multi-limbed, like this huge like insect, like chitinous, like lobster insect thing with like a bunch of eyes and these like drooling, like slobbering, like mandibles, covered in spines, and it's just it looks like a Zerg basically. It's like a big Zerg guy. And it is horrifying, and it like emits this horrible like shrieking, like chittering noise as it bursts out of the ground. And yeah, it is quite upset. That
my turn?
That you have been here. Yeah, it's still your turn. But it like emerges basically as you step there.
All right. I guess I will walk up to it and try and attack it. Let's see how well this goes. So, first attack. Does that hit?
A 15 is in fact enough to pierce the creature's chitinous plating.
All right. Second attack, and I suppose on the second attack I will apply my defensive flourish.
Okay.
So D6.
Your-
Oh, are you defending?
Wow! I deal one extra damage.
One
and
extra
get...
damage. You're getting one extra AC. Wow.
Nice.
Value. All right. So, if that is all, Theron, you basically see Friedrich step forward, and then this just horrific, giant insect lobster thing just burrow out of the ground.
Yeah. The only question I have is why Friedrich just went up there, honestly. That's okay. I will just do the normal thing.
All right, so you
Just
walk
hit
up,
it.
do two attacks.
Yes.
Both of them hit. Both of them deal 5 points of damage. You deal 10 points of damage total. Is there anything extra you would like to do?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So then this creature is up next.
Have fun, guys.
It'll be fine.
Okay. Can't get anybody. Nope. Okay. Yeah. So you see this creature sort of like rears back, and you see sort of this like, kind of like spittle almost like emerging from its mandible. It's kind of got this like sickly like greenish color, and it rears back and then sort of arcs its head forward, and this like spray of acid erupts out kind of in a line from it, basically hitting both Friedrich and Theron with this sort of 5-foot wide line of acid. I need both of you to make a dexterity saving throw.
More slime.
Okay. All right. So you are both successful. So you will take half of this damage. Wow, that is a amazing roll. You take 3 points of acid damage.
Nice. Oh, it's a bit stingy.
All right. And the creature does not move. Nona.
Okay. I think bonus action, I'll use steady
Okay.
aim.
Somebody is breathing very loudly into their mic. It is Fiora.
Sorry. I was
It's fine.
leaning back.
That's it.
All right, a 14. That is a hit.
Don't.
Okay, so 6 and 7. And yeah, as your blade tears through this creature, racking its mind, just sort of like shrieks, basically like skittering around before just like falling to the ground, like still.
Does it flop around a bit before disappearing?
This creature it stays there. It's just you just see its dead body just there on the ground.
Not a void
Oh,
sense
so
creature.
it's not a void sand, just
Well, that
a
thing died
very
quickly.
large bug.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to know. Actually, this actually isn't a void scent.
Another one for Nona.
You're surprisingly effective at doing this.
We are still going to be moving in initiative for the time being, but Asha, you see that they have dealt with this sort of strange creature that has burst up from the ground. What would you like to do? You can move around, take an action, or whatever.
Do I get anything? A bonus for being light on my feet? For not disturbing the ground? Because I imagine they sense movement since they live underneath.
There isn't really a good way to try to, if indeed they're like sensing you like in contact with the ground. You could try to be like stealthy and try to minimize that to some extent, but it's kind of difficult to mask that particularly.
Well, I suppose there is no point since we don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
So I will stay my ground and guard our ox and cart and wave cheerfully over to the guys and, hey, good job over there. So what's happening? Do you see any more of them?
So you're just gonna stay back. All right. Sug.
I mean, I was told to protect the cart. I don't have a ton of ways to do that besides just staying with the cart, but yeah, I guess for this turn I'll stay here and I'll ready a cantrip to activate if a creature comes within 60 feet of me, I guess, like an enemy.
Sure. Friedrich.
All right, dead bug. I'll hope it didn't kill everyone. I'll start moving. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I look into this tent.
Yeah, it just seems to be like an empty tent. Yep.
30.
You can see. I think as you get like closer to the tent, you can see that it appears as though like inside there are like bedrolls and whatnot, and they look as though they've been like partially dissolved by something.
Oh, guess the bugs did kind of get to these guys.
There's also some like strange drag marks in the sand.
Going in which direction?
They seem to be going like that way.
Okay.
Yeah, back towards where this creature like burst up from, and they just like
30.
just disappear basically.
All right, in the sand.
Yeah, into the sand. Like they look like they were dragged like a short distance, and then just like the trail disappears.
Right. Okay. Well, I see there's more of
Do
a
you
camp up
see-
there. 30, 35, 40, 45, 50.
Hey, do you see any suspicious holes in the ground?
Friedrich would shout back. Looks like there's some drag marks. Although they seem to just disappear in the middle of the road.
All right, is that everything?
Yep.
Theron, as you're sort of like standing over this creature, you can see basically like as you're standing there, the creature like burst up out of this hole, in the sand, and you can see the sand is rapidly sort of like piling back in to fill the hole, like sort of coming back to equilibrium.
There could be more of them.
Probably are, considering a bunch of people apparently got dissolved. I think I'll just follow.
In-
honestly.
Frederick's footsteps.
Yeah.
Friedrich always has the best
Wait, does
ideas.
diagonal also count as just 5?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
D&D rules.
This works, right?
Non-Euclidean geometry.
Alright. Pretty sure I can walk somewhere over there. Counting is hard.
Are we still inside of each other?
Yep, you are
Huh?
still moving.
I mean, can we see those two going away?
Yeah.
60 feet, yes.
Yeah, it's like it's the middle of the day, so there's not like a light problem. You can see them. All right. So. Nona, what are you up to?
I will. Psychically communicate with Theron and Sug. 3 hours.
Okay,
In a mile.
sure thing.
Oh no, now I will know how. I know Fraser was one of them, but was it
So you
like.
can't hear
I
him.
think it was
but I still-
Austin, the other
I
one?
still-
I don't know how they feel now.
Asha,
bonus
yeah.
action dash.
We are
Okay.
becoming a true team.
Nona is dashing.
Telepathy everywhere.
All right. So. Actually, let me. Nona, you are doing that.
Who did you hive mind with?
You and Theron.
I mean, there. Okay.
All right, yeah. So as you dash over in this direction, kind of like running up towards this camp, you suddenly feel kind of like this shifting in the sand, and like you hear this horrible screeching noise as another one of these creatures comes bursting out from under the sand here.
Turns over.
Yeah, that was at the end of your turn. Asha.
Save me.
Remind me what my movement of range of movement?
You have 40 feet as a base.
You can spend
40
what
over
you-
here,
point.
and I have a dash.
Yeah, so you can bonus action dash by spending a key point, or you can regular
Mhm.
action dash, but then you won't be able to attack, basically, if you do that. But if you bonus dash, you can attack.
And my bonus gives me how much extra range of movement?
Yeah, another 40.
So basically, I can reach the creature. If I dash, can I summon my arms on the same turn? Or not really?
If you use your action to dash, you can summon the arms, but then you wouldn't be able to attack with them. If you use your bonus action to dash, you cannot summon the arms, but you can attack with your regular fists.
I see. So basically, dash and attack without the arms.
Yeah, you can either dash and punch, or you can dash and do the arm summon.
I
summon
see.
attack.
Okay, I got you. And I have a dart with a range of movement. No penalties 20, right? The dart.
Yeah, within 20 feet, basically.
Okay, so I suppose I will.
You can't quite. Yeah.
Do I make it?
You can dash to here,
not
summon your
really.
arms, and then you'd still be in range, I think. Or no, I actually wouldn't.
No. The arms gave
You
me
can-
only
you can-
5
you
extra
can-
feet, so basically only 1 square. I'm still not in range.
You are. Yeah, you have. When you dash, you can move up to 80 feet. So you can either go right next to it, or you could go one back and summon the arms. It depends. Do you want to go next to it and make a regular fist attack, or do you want to go away from it and summon the arms, but you don't get a regular attack, but you get the arm summon attack, basically.
I think I will not spend my action. I will 40 feet. I will be at a disadvantage because 60. Okay, I suppose dash, bonus action, and a regular fist attack.
All right.
Over
so
here
that
is
will-
good.
Yeah, so that will spend a key point. So make sure you mark off a key point for your dash.
Yes,
then-
-1 and
You can
mark
make-
unarmed strike.
Yep, you can make one attack, a 22, which hits for 8 points of bludgeoning damage. You strike the creature. I don't think Sug was ready, but he's not within range. Nowhere even close.
No, he's not in range yet because
All right, so yeah, his ready action goes wished, and then it is your turn, Sug. You see another one of these
Well-
creatures.
We can go ahead and pull the cart 15 feet forward, I guess, right?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. I, drive it on up over here.
Okay.
And
Moo.
move.
Technically, you would be behind the cow.
Why would I be behind the cow?
Because you're on the cart that is behind.
Oh, yeah, obviously. Okay. Yeah.
are you still driving that thing? Do you have a height advantage? Can you look the creature in the eye because you seem
Someone-
to be the same
Someone
level?
has to look after the ox, okay? Do you want to pay for it? I don't.
Well, neither do I.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, we'll go ahead. I guess I'll do this as a bonus action first. I'll cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay. 21 definitely hits.
I summon it next to it. It does very low damage.
First damage.
That's my bonus action, and then as my action, I'll go ahead and I'll cast Toll the Dead on this thing. Bong
Bong.
for obviously less than the D8 because that's how the spell
That's
works.
the
most
trap.
of the time.
That's why you never
Never
have
use
both
it
of
if they're
them.
injured. Yeah. Takes 2 damage.
Well, it
If it
does.
fails.
It does in fact take 2 damage. I need to change this setting real quick.
A whopping 2 damage.
Could have been 8 if it was uninjured.
Coulda. All right. So that is everything.
Mhm.
It is its turn. Takes a few hits. Like you kind of like knock its head backwards with your punch, Asha, and its head like reels back, and then it kind of like snaps back. And you see its mandibles open up, and like its mouth is like relatively large. Like it looks like it could swallow a person, almost whole. And it just tries to chomp down on you. A 16, I believe, just narrowly misses. You're able to just barely like, duck out of the way at the last
I
second.
contort myself in space and time, and by by a feat of will and strength of muscle, avoid those scary mandibles.
Of course, as you do.
What's that squiggly thingy next to me in yellow?
That's a spiritual weapon, I assume. He's drawn.
The hammer.
It's a hammer.
We brought the hammer down.
Okay.
It looks like dried grass.
So his attack misses. And then, at the end of this round, you hear sort of like a shifting movement, Nona, kind of like from behind you, and this screech basically as another one of these creatures bursts out from the ground behind you.
Oh my, how many of them are there? Have we stumbled into a colony?
I'm beginning to think that, yeah.
I mean, they do look a lot like ants, right?
Ants have colonies, I've heard.
They're like
Hey, I think
they're like Earth Defense Force ants.
I'll move 30 feet over here. Gotta protect the
Freddy?
cart. I'm gonna cast Vicious Mockery on this one.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah. Back to Vicious Mockery, baby.
Fails.
Disadvantage.
1 point of psychic damage, and it is viciously mocked.
Bonus action,
Well,
Bardic
that's
for Nona.
smart.
Okay. Karen.
Have you just insulted the color of its scales?
Racism.
So is there literally like any way for me to get there and hit it?
Yeah.
Actually, like right
It's-
here,
yep.
I guess.
You have 40 feet of movement.
No,
I
Theron only
suppose
has
you can.
30.
She has 30. You have
Yeah.
40 because you're a monk.
Oh, oh right. Because yes.
Can I just stand like halfway on the tent?
Yeah, I mean that
Oh,
square is
okay.
fine to stand in. You're like standing on near like the tent stake basically, but it's not.
Is she sneaking from
I'm
behind?
pretty sure this
Maybe.
thing has already taken some damage. I'll just do that.
All right, 2 hits.
Did
All right. Anything else you want to add?
Nope.
You do have your maneuvers. Remember, and those come back on
Yeah,
short
but
rests.
I'm pretty
so-
sure this one is like almost dead. So
No, it's still alive after your 2 hits. So, if that is all,
and ready to spit.
then Nona.
We'll steady aim at
Okay.
I've inspired you.
inspired me.
I gave you a
Mhm.
Bardic.
Yes, you
I
have
said-
bardic inspiration.
Your
Don't
hair looks real nice today. That's how I inspired you.
Maybe you were supposed to say your blades look especially wicked in the morning light.
Your mind blades look real nice.
What the hell, man?
All
That's
purple
no
and
17
eldritch.
hits without.
A 17 does
Bardic.
hit, yeah.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh.
Oh, the other one.
We max in dice.
17 psychic damage. Yikes. All right. You can't move because you did the steady aim, so there you are. Asha, it's your turn.
Okay. Another key point for the arms. And just my regular first unarmed strike.
Well, let me see here. I guess before you make the unarmed strike, it does fail the dex save from you summoning your arms. So just roll 2d4.
2d4, let me do it. D4, 2d4, there you go.
All right, so it takes 6 points of damage from you summoning the arms and basically pummeling it. Then,
All right.
and
I
then,
forgot it does that.
you hit it again with the arms. This deals 7 points of force damage, and that is enough. Basically, your arm like snaps through the mandible and like snaps off one of the big sort of like scissor like mandibles, and it just like shrieks in pain, like spewing kind of this acidic blood everywhere as it collapses to the ground.
Do I still have my bonus action?
No, you used it to summon the arms.
Oh, right. Sorry, I forgot. Apologies.
It's fine. But yeah, you still have your movement if you wanted to move or anything like that. But
I still have my movement, but let's see. How far am I from the other one? Well, I can reach it with my regular movement. I end my turn here in case more of them come from the other direction.
okay. Sug.
I guess I'll hop off the cart and interpose myself between this and the ox, and I will bonus action move the weapon 20 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4 here, as far as it can go, and then I'll go ahead and I'll just probably Toll the Dead again. That's fine. Have my great axe out, ready to fight this thing.
Okay.
This time, when it's uninjured.
Nah, it's fine.
It's fine. It doesn't matter. Thank God.
Doesn't matter.
Thank God.
Would have been better if it were injured.
And it is injured.
It is injured.
Oh, I didn't know it was injured. I thought this one was uninjured.
Mine stabbed it.
I see.
Mine stabbed. All right.
Yes,
It is its turn. It is going to come sort of moving forward in this kind of insect-like fashion.
Skitter, skitter.
Whoa.
Skitter.
He ignored me and the ox.
And it is going to rear up and
no.
spew a line of acid. So, Nona, Asha, and Theron, I need dexterity saving throws from all of you.
Saving throws.
This poor tent gets fucked up even more.
I might have failed that.
Nona, you succeed. Fiora, you succeed. Asha, you have unfortunately failed.
Okay, how much will it hurt me for?
Asha, you take 15 points of acid damage.
Ouchies.
Nona and Fiora both take
Ouch.
7.
Oh, I just remembered when that thing hit me with acid initially. I have resistance to acid damage. So I think I only took 1 damage.
That's right, you do.
I
have
can't
resistance
wait
to
for
acid
evasion.
damage. All right,
Evasion. That's like in 4 levels.
that's its turn. So Friedrich,
And I
you're up.
can't wait.
Oh Christ. Yep, my turn. Alright, so here he is, being all ant-like. I'm gonna go in and save Nona. Hiya! Hiya!
All right, your first attack is a hit for 6 points of damage. The second one, however, just deflects off the chitinous plating.
Never mind.
Is that all?
Yep.
All right.
Aren't you glad you invested in a scimitar?
There it is.
It's getting quite crowded around that creature. I guess you still have a spot.
I guess
At the
there's
mouth
still
of
one
the
like
tent.
right here.
Yeah, I mean,
If I try hard enough.
the tent is like
Or-
naturally dissolved, so.
Oh, true.
Uh,
That is a good point. Let me see.
or you could have
actually.
gone behind that creature.
Don't have enough movement.
I would also just like to do that, just in
Alright.
case.
Go ahead and roll an extra d8. The second attack misses. Well, actually, this might.
Wow.
this
It might
make
not,
a
Brad.
difference.
It might not.
It might make a difference. Let me see. What is that? A strength saving throw?
Mm-hmm.
No,
It
is.
didn't
It's
matter.
success. So yeah, your second attack misses,
Damn.
and unfortunately you are unable to trip it. And it is still alive. So, Nona, you are up.
I'm gonna be so annoyed if you kill it.
I mean, rogue. So
Getting the last hits on everyone.
I mean, they do be what they do. They're the AD carry. They need the gold.
I need the gold, guys. Come on.
Yeah. So what do you want to do, Nona? Elise.
Oh, shit.
Nona?
Alright,
Elise?
sorry. Mind stab it.
Go for it. Ooh, 10's not gonna do it.
Was it 1d6?
Yep.
15.
A 15 is enough. All right, and that will finish this creature off.
I gave you the tools to kill Steel. No!
It's not really kill stealing. She dealt the most damage to it.
What happens to the astral hammer that Zug summoned?
It sticks around for a while.
Still there. Alright.
Um.
Continue on carefully.
Okay. Right. Asha.
Am I supposed to do something?
Yeah, I mean we're still still moving around in initiative here.
I suppose I'm quite wounded, so I'll stick around
Still NK.
and, hang back and let the healthier members do the investigation. I will just sit on this bench and recover.
Sure.
The
Sug.
fight's over in her mind.
It's over. It's over. The fight is over. The mysterious stranger wins again.
Alright, let's not quote Coder. Mendak Star Killer is
Bendak Star
down.
Killer is dead.
Can you believe it?
Sug, it's your turn. What do you do?
Me move this 20 feet. It can go hang out 1, 2, 3, 4. You can go hang out over here. I'll move away from the cart for a minute because it seems like Asha's having a rough day.
Yes, I was so taken with my victory, my amazing victory over the first centipede that I failed to dodge properly the other one.
Give you a nice
Well-
coating of acid.
You can have a nice 11 hit points back, maximum healing.
Nice.
Thank you. Now I feel more confident, you see, this magical bench helped me recover.
Yes, the
So now I
bench.
feel more comfortable in investigating
Magic
when my
bench.
turn comes.
Magic
bench.
bench.
Friedrich.
There you go. I have even inspired
Alright.
Frederick to have a new son.
Sug has unfortunately reneged on his sacred duty. I will make my way back to the cart and guard the ox.
Okay.
But I guess I'll just dash over.
Sure thing.
Get on up. Climb up.
You seem to have a special fondness for the bovine.
Cows are nice animals.
Theron.
Well,
Yes, they give you milk and
Yeah,
can be turned
exactly.
into
one more
hamburgers.
time. If I would just walk like over here and dash, yeah, I can make it there. Like, over here.
You have 60 feet?
Yeah, if you dash. If you dash, she'll have it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Let's go over there.
Do I see anything to grab? Are there more bugs?
No, not nothing leaps out at you, and there's no sign that you
Sad.
can tell. Nona.
So are we just looking for survivors at this point, or anything? Leftovers?
I'm guarding this ox.
Guard it with your life.
Here,
Okay.
already an attack.
Sure thing.
When one of those things pops out.
Asha.
I have a feeling. No, that's not the right tale. I suppose I don't want to split too far from the group, so I will move over here. That's 30 feet, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Can I ready something if a creature just shows out of the ground?
Yeah, you can like ready an attack or something like that.
Okay. Just my regular unarmed thingy.
Sure, yeah, you can ready it within
Mhm.
10 feet. 'cause
And
special arms.
yes, then I suppose I will do that and end my turn.
Okay. Sug.
I guess now that Friedrich's on the cart, I'll just move up
Okay.
30 feet over here. Bonus action. 1, 2, 3, 4. Move the special weapon here above this tent, I guess. And then I'll take the dodge action.
What does your weapon look like? I mean, this summoned hammer.
It's just like, yeah, floating spiritual hammer.
Is it white? Is it blue? Is it transparent? Does it glow?
It's transparent. It's just like ghostly.
Does it do any tricks?
Yeah, it hits things.
Want me to demonstrate?
Yeah, Friedrich, walk next to it. I'll show you a trick.
Friedrich.
I ready a vicious mockery in case one of these creatures appears.
Alright, staying put. Theron.
Readying vicious mock.
Siege tactics.
Siege tactics. So far, you've kind of like you've all like spread out a little bit on the outskirts of this camp, and no more of these creatures have burst from the ground.
Hey, if they hear us walking, maybe they can hear Friedrich singing a very horrible, absolutely atrocious song, and they will just run away. Any chance of that?
Weapon!
Protect the oxen.
So
I guess I'll just go look at the cart.
All right. Yeah,
Maybe
looking.
there's food.
Yeah, looking over that cart, you can see the crates that were in there appear to be empty of supplies. It looks like a similar sort of cart to the one that you escorted here, but the crates are empty. And you can see that there's like signs, like you could see there's like spattering of like acid burns into the wood where some of it has like dissolved away. And you can see some like drag marks nearby and like footprints, like humanoid footprints.
which way do they go?
They kind of just like trail off, right? Like it's more drag marks. They like go like 10 feet and then just disappear.
They're just spots where the insect just grabbed them and then just ate them.
Yeah, at this point you see.
And then probably burrowed into the ground,
at this point,
and the scent just fell over.
You've kind of like seen enough to like realize that they're probably like the whoever was here was like attacked and killed and then like dragged under the sand by these burrowing monsters, leaving no trace. But yeah, Nona.
I will bonus action.
All right.
Oh, you're
take the-
dashing quite
Right
away.
up there.
I'll
Yeah,
take the
so
dodge out.
you see run up kind of like near this bush, and you can see this is like the like main like standing structure, basically like this big cabin. There's like an awning here, and this over here is kind of like just like a ruined building. A little like chimney is the only thing standing from it.
And then yeah, I'll brain out to Theron and Sug that I'm gonna go check.
All right.
Oh
Ashra.
shit! Rick and Morty's coming back this Sunday, guys. Wubba lubba dub dub. Holy shit.
Wow. Funniest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I guess my Reddit action didn't come in. I
No,
will
yeah.
try to investigate more carefully. Uh, Let me just measure something over here. Okay, that should be good. And again, I'm trying to be careful and on the lookout to smack creatures in case they appear.
Okay.
And I suppose Sag is next.
Yes, indeed. So,
Don't forget your hammer.
what do you do, Sag?
Never forget the hammer. I'll move forward like 30 feet over here.
Okay. Yeah, so you're now kind of like in this circle of tents. You can see it's a lot like this other circle of tents, right? It looks like there's like footprints kind of like scattered around, drag marks that seem to just like trail off for a few feet and then like disappear. Acid burns on like the logs and the tents and the stuff inside. Yeah, you walk up there and like you don't feel any sort of like trembling in the ground or anything like that.
I'll go ahead, dash, and walk 30 feet over here to get
Okay.
next to Theron.
Sure thing. Friedrich. Still just protecting that ox?
I'll move it up. You said it doesn't require a check, right?
Yeah, no, you can move it like 15 feet.
Until you get spooked by a fucking bug.
Until then, that's movement, action, ready, vicious mockery.
All right, Theron.
I'm coming, guys.
I'm to walk into the next circle of tents.
Hmm? Yeah, similarly.
Peering inside, checking for more traces.
Similarly to Sug, you just see like signs of like obvious like scuffle, more drag marks, acid burns, acid marks, but there's no like creatures that like burst out of the ground as you walk up to here. All right. If
How
that is
far
all.
did I walk?
You move.
Nah, don't worry about it.
Here, I don't know. Nona.
To hide. Is this door open?
That is a window, as you can.
Window.
Because you can
This
see
is a
through
door.
it. Yeah.
Where's it?
The doors on the.
Your door?
This
That's-
is a door.
Go up to the.
Yeah, checking the door. It appears to be unlocked.
Open it slowly.
Okay, slowly open the door. You can see that it opens into what appears to be a cabin with a wooden floor.
Signs of life.
Make a perception check.
Great at the.
You barely hear like faintly what sounds like whimpering coming from somewhere like up in this building.
Feet of move in.
Okay. Yeah, as you like step inside, you can see that this larger room is just kind of like cluttered with logging equipment. Essentially, you see saws, harnesses for climbing trees, etc., etc.
I'll brain back to Sug and Theron. I think I hear people in here.
Yeah, and you hear the whimpering noises like coming from like up here somewhere, probably behind this other door. Is that all?
Yep.
Okay.
So now Theron knows that Nona has found someone alive.
Yeah, Sug and
Nona,
Theron know.
at the end of your turn, can you make a dexterity saving throw for me? All right. So you basically are able to you notice like a strange kind of like trembling in the ground, and the floorboards begin to like crack open and upwards as something burrows up from like directly underneath you, slamming through the wooden board. You manage to jump back in time to avoid being hit or pushed out of the way or knocked prone or anything like that. So you can basically choose to. You can either go back that way or back that way. One of the two.
Back
Sorry,
up.
back out that way as this large creature bursts up from out of the ground.
Also, help, please.
It's just casually.
Just casually. All right. So that was Nona. Asha, you're next.
I don't think I can make it in time. And 100 feet is still over here. Spend another key to dash.
Well, if you
Still don't
use
think you'd be able to
Well,
attack.
if you can't make it to attack anyway, might as well just use your action. Save the key point.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't dash twice.
Does it mean I can just dash without spending key?
Yeah, you can
Yeah, you
just
can use your action to dash. Anyone can use their action to dash.
You can get up to like.
Oh, okay, that's an event. Then I guess I'm dashing.
Okay.
I end up over here.
Mm-hmm. You could like. You could also. You can't actually do a double dash, but it wouldn't help because you just end up here and you wouldn't be able to do anything.
Can you actually?
Yep.
Mm.
You can.
Oh.
No, I will save it for just in case because I have only 1 point left.
Sure.
No, the dart would be useless at this point. Nona, I'm coming as quickly as I can.
Sug.
Okay. Bonus action. You know what we doing? 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. That's done. Out of the way. Important thing achieved. No, it is 65. Me dash. Me run like the wind. Bullseye.
Speed. All right, Friedrich.
Where you guys going? I get off.
Yeah, probably can't actually see what's going on from where you are.
Yeah, I see them running in that direction though. I suppose I'll get off. Run over here.
But Friedrich sees Farron making some distressed gestures, shouting, pointing towards the cabin.
Nah, Farron did nothing of the sort, just ran away. It's okay, I've dashed. That's all I can do. Next.
Right. So this creature, after bursting out of the ground, Nona, and pushing you backwards, it is going to just try to snap you, just bite you right up.
Try it.
Hey, at least this one is not spitting acid.
Hey, thank you.
Why did you taunt it? Why did you tell it to try it? It did.
It tried it.
It tried.
It tried it.
It definitely tried with all its little insect heart.
We're level 3, right? What's your HP?
Yeah.
Secret tunnel.
It's nice knowing you guys.
So it deals 25.
It's 25. Just
25 points of damage. You're fine.
Ouch.
What's your max HP?
She's
sister?
fine.
18. I'm
She's
fine.
Yeah.
Alright.
Down a big chunk, basically like bitten by this thing. It's like probably like caught in its mandibles too. Like it's like trying to like swallow her up. At this
Is it
point,
is she grappled?
Yes, it is. Actually, it's actually grappled. Yes. Like in its mouth. Theron.
Dash and hope for the best.
That's like another like 30, right?
Yeah, you'd be able to move 60 total if you dashed. And you have your action surge too, so you could dash again if you want to do it for 90 feet, but yeah, it wouldn't really. You still wouldn't be able to get within.
Is there any point to doing that though? Not really.
Not particularly, I don't think, at this point.
Oh boy.
It's okay, I'm gonna save you, Nona. Again.
From way back there.
Suspicious mockery.
Right, Nona. Roll me that saving throw.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
That's a success, Reno.
Asha.
Do I still have my arms? I think I do.
Yeah, they last 10 minutes, so you're good. It's only been a few
Yeah, and
minutes.
each round it's 6 seconds, so you have plenty of.
If only I was a
So
week
they have They have an extra square of
Mhm.
reach, so I don't have to get in range. I suppose I will be over here.
Sure. Yeah. and
Is
you
it
can-
enough
Yeah, you
to
can
hit
attack
it?
Yeah, you can attack it.
I guess my regular action and my bonus action. No flurry of blows.
All right. Spend a key point and make an extra attack. The first two hit, so 5 and 8 force damage. And then yeah, if you want to spend a key point, you can make a third attack.
No, I'm fine for now, thank you.
All right. Sug.
The hammer.
I mean, the hammer's pretty far away. I'm not sure if I can, like, if I heal you, you're just gonna get eaten again.
But if it damages her, she's gonna take 2 fails immediately.
2 fails is better than no. I'm just thinking about how I want to with my action.
Wow.
I think I want to, because I can stand here. Because she's like being held in the air. Can I like walk up into the square? Brad.
Huh?
So she's like being grappled and like held
Yeah,
aloft
she's, like,
by
in,
the thing.
like,
So
she's, like,
I can stand in
yeah.
the square, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully, because like I'm gonna heal you no matter what. I just want to see if I can get you out of there first. Bum 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 bum. Brad, I'm shoving this thing as my action.
Okay.
Giving it a boot.
Go for it.
That's a big boot.
Oh.
That's quite the boot.
That's definitely a shoe. That's shoe size 11 though.
Close. But
It-
you
it-
managed to push back this.
You
really-
just round kick it in the
Yeah,
forehead,
I
and
basically,
it's dizzy, and it unclenches its jaws and releases Nona.
yes. And then hopefully she can like fall back into the
No,
square.
no. I have a better idea. You headbutt it.
Sure.
I think you just like shoulder tackle into it, and it gets knocked backwards, and Nona kind of like flies loose
It's-
from its mandible as it's like.
It's clearly a drop kick.
Clearly, yeah, totally.
Here you go.
So you're
I'm
prone,
gonna,
is what you're saying.
Yes. I'll healing word. No, for 5.
All right. Nona is back up.
Isn't Nona still grappled though? Doesn't she go
Can
with
she
it when
do
it moves?
No, because like technically, like that's why I was asking. Like she's in the square just above me, so I'm hoping she like would fall down into my square.
Well, she can't occupy your square, so
I can stand on top of her.
no.
Well, I mean, isn't it when you're grappled you move with your grappler though?
No, if,
No.
like if something forces the either party away, it like breaks the grapple.
All right.
But that's literally why I shoved it.
How many failures do I take for a half orc standing on me?
All of them. He steps on your neck and breaks it. A roleplay classic. No, yeah, she'll fall there basically.
Sounds good.
All right. So yeah, you're back at 5 HP, Nona. Congratulations. Friedrich.
Guys, what's going on? I actually don't see the creature. I just see Nona on the ground. It's like, oh, a Sug turned on us.
No, he's fine. Come over here and help. There is another bug.
Oh, okay, I see. I'll give a. I won't give a bardic. I end my turn.
Okay.
Why? Why are you so stingy with your bardics?
He's a
'Cause-
sword smart. He's never giving those to people.
All right. This creature is going to attack.
It wants to attack me, right?
I mean,
Oh,
It's going to
no.
spit. Oh,
Why is,
yes.
why is it whenever the things deal acid damage come up like I'm never affected?
yeah, so it is going to unleash a blob of acid spraying out on the three of you. So dex
Don't
saves,
fail this time,
please.
Sarah.
I'm trying to. Dexterity save.
Mm-hmm.
Nona may be prone, but she's still dexterous.
Sug fails, Nona succeeds, Aka succeeds.
Oh, so that's half the damage.
Mhm.
You could roll low like the first time, Brad, if you want. I think that's pretty
Yes.
A minus
It's
4.
still alive.
4. Yeah, barely. Nona hanging on. Sug takes 8.
Mhm.
All right. Theron.
Will just continue to try to get there. But let me see where Six is. Oh, all the way over there. Nice.
There.
I'm almost there.
You get second wind, right? You still have your second wind?
Still has everything. Well, except one superiority dice has been spent.
What does second one do again?
You heal 1d10 plus your fighter level.
Heal yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a bonus action, you can heal.
Heal yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, like that. I mean, even if I use my action surge, I would need to use it for movement, which means I still can't attack him anyway.
Yeah. Well, unless you had something you could throw at it.
Right. That's why I was saying. I mean, I was just second wind probably. Get your health back up. Well, you might need it.
I guess. Let me see. That's a 1d10 plus the fighter level?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Wow.
So.
That's a 5.
That's 5 hit points, yeah.
But it's still 5 more HP than you had before.
That's fine.
All right. If that is all.
I would love to have 5 more hit points.
And Nona prone, covered
That's
in
a question.
covered in acid.
Does using out my movement to stand up count as technically moving?
No, it won't provoke like.
I
She
mean,
means
can I
for
still
steady
steady
aim.
Oh, yeah, I would say because it uses movement, like you're moving.
Okay. In that case.
I mean, you can always disengage and get the
Ye-
fuck out of it.
Or
Or
Mm-hmm.
stay on the floor, steady aim, and just cancel out the disadvantage.
you wouldn't be able to sneak attack though.
Oh shit, you're right.
I like the idea of that.
I
Just
think
throw a
I think I've hit it for a couple of times. It's taking 13 damage so far.
Alright. Stand up. Bonus action disengage the responsible person.
You sound so disheartened.
I wanted to kill it. Move.
Has it taken any damage so far?
Yeah, it's been hit a couple
It got,
times.
it
Yes.
got ghost fisted a little bit.
Ghost fisted.
You can always stab it before you go and give it a little shank.
Yeah, you're right. I'll stab it. Don't get sneaky.
Yeah, just normal damage.
Little runaway shank. Nona strikes me as the person that if two people are running to get away from something, she'll.
no.
Oh no.
If only.
I mean,
Sedge.
still 12 damage. Still good damage.
So there's 12 points of damage.
What could have been?
Isn't this a good roll?
It is. It's just
You didn't get her
She-
sneak attack.
yeah,
that could have been
bad.
18 extra damage.
Yeah.
Well,
I could have gotten sneak attack.
okay, you're barely alive. Just came to from being still covered in slime, and you expect to be sneaky.
I wanted to kill.
Okay,
Good luck.
am I still in
Good luck.
rage, or I have?
No, it got pushed back, and so you have to move.
Oh,
up
okay.
some
So
to-
I suppose over here.
Well,
there's a
you
wall
can't.
between
Yeah,
you
you
there.
can't see it from there really to attack it. You would have to.
Then I
move
have to
in.
come inside.
Yeah, you would have to move
Mhm.
inside.
Get up close, personal.
Yes. Is it good enough
Mhm.
for?
Womp
Ooh,
womp.
that will not hit. That will.
The
not
second
womp
one should hit
Mhm.
for only 5. Well, still better than nothing.
True. Is that all?
Yes.
Okay. Sug. Sug.
Still alive. Oh, Nona,
come in.
you might get the kill after all.
Oh man, I will use my guided strike to make that plus 10 to hit.
Sure thing. 17 will hit.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I don't want this thing to live and get another turn. I could take 11.
All right. How do you do it?
I mean, it's just a classic ant decapitation. He does a full spin, like you're gonna shot put something and just cuts off his axe. You know, he's a
Alright, yeah,
Beyblade.
so the head like flies off, sending this like acidic sort of like greenish blood spraying all over the place, and you notice like the head slams to the ground, like the mandible is still twitching and moving, and then the body is just like scurrying around for a while, just like slamming up against the walls as like blood is like pouring out of it, and then eventually it just sort of shrivels up and kind of falls over.
Bonus action. 1, 2, 3.
Very important.
Nice. Nice.
Yes, we still have that hammer.
It's coming. It's coming 20 feet a turn sometime.
And at
Okay, question before we move on. What is the hammer actually meant to do?
Hit things.
Damage.
Things. It does damage.
Oh, okay, maybe next century sometime when it crawls too.
It doesn't move very fast.
Yeah, it doesn't move very
No.
fast as a thing, so it's good when the fight is like stationary. It's not very good when you have to go across entire maps.
Yeah, we have like 3 enemies all clumped together. I'm like, oh, nice, cool, spiritual weapon, and then they just died instantly.
I think that thing took my kidneys.
Nona, I think you mentioned being alive in here.
Yeah, I heard some people from behind a door.
I make my way back to the cart, Brad.
Yeah, no, you've just got like bite marks, like you're bleeding, your like clothes are ruined, your hair is ruined, like everything is just a mess.
I make my way back to the cart, Brad.
Okay.
But never will I have a moment of self-reflection that maybe going off alone was a bad idea.
Never.
Never.
I'll start moseying the cart along to everyone else.
If we're at an initiative, I guess I go over here and I knock on this door.
Yeah, so you like move up there and knock on the door, and you hear like a yelp, basically. Someone like scurries away from the door, and you hear more like sort of like whining and sniveling on the other side. And maybe like a please don't kill me.
I think if they wanted to kill you,
Hello?
they would be knocking.
You don't need to be scared. We're from the Adventurers Guild. You can come out now.
Yeah, so can you give me a persuasion check?
Persuasion. Let me.
No, you could be an ant.
I have not found persuasion. Charisma. I suppose it will do something. Oh no, I wasn't too persuasive.
Yeah, so he's just sort of just like there's no response, right? You just hear like
Doug, you try it now.
I'll try my persuasion on the door.
So as you like body slam into the door, you're actually met with a lot more resistance than you would expect, because
It's probably
as
barricaded.
you
Yeah.
burst through, you like bash through not only the door but like a desk that was like pushed up against the door as well, and a bunch of like chairs and stuff go like flying as you like burst through, and there's just like basically like a yelp of surprise as you see basically like huddled in the corner. There is what appears to be sort of like this middle-aged man who kind of like is dressed in like he doesn't look like a worker, right? Like he doesn't look like a he looks more like a foreman or something like that. You're assuming it's the person who like runs this camp that you were sent to deliver things to.
I'm like, right. So we killed a bunch of those bug things, and we have your supplies. So we need you to sign for those.
Pulling the cart along, Brad. Did I arrive?
Yes, you arrived just in time, just to gloriously parade the cart in front of the building.
Do I, Brad?
Eventually.
Let me know when I get there.
You get there a while after. All right, yeah. So you
Get there before the spiritual weapon does.
he's just sort of like
Hey,
gives
you can pick up the spiritual weapon and put it on the cart, and maybe you'll get there faster. The two
I
of
can't.
you.
It's ghostly. I can't touch it.
and
She'll be here before the sun goes down.
yeah. So he he's just sort of like gives you this like incredulous look, and he's just says, those things, you managed to beat them. He says, and you've brought the supplies. So this is divine providence. This is not that we have much need of the supplies anymore. I don't think I have anybody to supply them to, but I'm sure we could find more workers.
Yeah, we still need a signature.
Well, sign here, please.
Just the most nonchalant like UPS drivers, just like
Yeah, exactly.
Just,
That's
just
what I'm
sign
trying.
here, like,
Yeah,
let's
like,
see
yeah, I
if
don't need
you
your
want
life
to-
story. I just
Yeah.
need a signature. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry for you workers, but never
Yeah.
mind. Sign that.
He
We need to
walks
be on
over-
our way.
So he walks over to where the desk that was like blocking the door has been like smashed into the wall, and rummages around for like a quill and like a half-spilled ink bottle on the ground.
Do you need some blood to use as a ink?
And he-
I
Our
have plenty.
motto, our guild motto is through rain, sleet, snow, and on gigs. So
he he signs the invoice. He just says, "You can just leave it outside."
do we do unloading for the guild, or is that like him job?
That's a
We're
him
not the
thing. You were just told to bring it here.
Yeah, we're not the unloading guild.
Yeah, but we're supposed to bring the cart back. That's what I mean. Like do it like
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
like-
that's right. You have to bring the cart
Yeah,
back,
like, I'll
and he
unload
doesn't.
it, but
He
it's
doesn't
like-
have workers to unload it
If he,
anymore.
like if he's gonna pay me to unload it, I'll unload it. But I'll let him figure.
Do I arrive with the cart now, Brad?
Yes, I mean you can move your. I'm not gonna move the fucking cow around. Like, there's you
Perfect.
don't have to.
Actually, no,
All right.
Slug's a good enough person. He'll help him unload it free of charge. You know, that's complimentary.
Oh man,
Oh,
that's
no,
not
no.
that's not a great character.
You look rough.
Have you seen my spleen somewhere?
Yeah, there's only 2 crates in the cart. It's not. It's not. one.
Pick it up, put it inside. All right, well, job's done.
Job's done.
Job's done.
Thanks, buddy.
Do we want to talk to that person, ask what happened here, or not really?
I think we know what happened for the most part.
Do we want to be polite and offer help, or mission accomplished? Let's return.
I mean, he said he's gonna hire more workers. Does he want to ride back to town with us to do that, or is he just gonna chill here?
Hey guys, what's up?
Oh, we got the signature. I handed him the paperwork.
All right, he was still alive.
Yeah, I think he's the only one. But
Oh,
he's in
damn.
charge though, so.
There's a bit of a running theme now where like owners.
It's hard
of
to run a business in this world.
Yeah.
Owners of establishments are the only people left alive after all their workers are
Maybe they should
brutally
s-
killed.
They should just stop hiring red shirts and get someone
Do a
that
Clearly.
has a
campaign
name.
for workers' rights.
Can you hire it? Well, you just hire some named NPCs. They always seem to live for at least a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Hiring all these nameless people.
yeah, he sort of says, "Thank you for your help." He says, "I will. I have to remain here and assess the damages before I return to town or anything like that." He says, I'm not quite sure what brought these creatures here. We've operated this logging camp for, well, nearly a decade and never had such an infestation problem. He says,
Probably the dragon.
he just sort of shrugs. It says, seems unlikely that the dragon would bring land-dwelling creatures such as this here, but perhaps.
Well, a guy named Falcon out in the forest kind of said that the dragon's forcing a lot of creatures out of their habitation. So maybe they moved here or something.
I don't know. I've not been in this town for a super long time, but it seems like everyone just, when they have a problem, they blame it on the dragon.
And he just sort of says, he kind of shrugs and says, well, a shrewd businessman would blame it on their rivals before some wayward dragon. I am sure there are many who would seek to ruin me. Just a question of how.
You seem quite, like, tied up, stressed, man. Why don't you take one of these? And I'll, like, hold out a mushroom from my pouch.
He just goes, no thanks.
I don't know what it'll do to you, because I'm, like, a water genasi, but like it might have some effect.
Oh, Brad, can I make a nature check to like see what I know about these creatures?
I thought you were
Sure.
gonna say the
Yeah.
mushrooms there for a second.
I got 2. So that's pretty good.
I think they might be able to burrow.
I think they can.
Oh, well, they can definitely burrow.
Does an 8 yield us any more information?
Not particularly. You don't learn anything
They
that
can
you
spit
haven't.
acid.
You don't learn
Mhm.
anything
They
that
can
you haven't
spit
learned
acid,
through
and
feeding them.
they are not particularly friendly.
They can almost chop an elf in half. Mandible.
All right, let's get back to town. Mushroom, mushroom. I just offer everyone a mushroom. I have it out. Might as well.
Oh, yeah, I'll take a
Can
mushroom.
you carry me to the cart?
I could try. Well, yeah, give Sug the mushroom then, I
No,
suppose.
not you.
You want Sug to carry you to the cart? It's like right there. It's like outside.
Eat the mushroom, Sug.
Sure. Yeah, like a mushroom.
All right.
That's edible, right? Edible
So,
mushroom.
Have
as
you established direct connection with what's your deity? Ramu?
Yeah, what's
That was
Ramu's
the-
stance on
that
like?
was the first
rec-
cleric.
That was the other cleric.
That
Yeah.
was the other
What
cleric.
What is your deity stance on like taking recreational mushrooms?
I mean, no one told me it's recreational. You said here's a mushroom.
Yeah, that's true. I did.
He probably would be too chill with it, but you never know.
All right. So, as you gather up and make leave from the camp, heading back towards the town, you set off kind of like on your way. But as you're kind of like leaving from this area, I think we kind of like see like another sort of scene outside of the view of the characters necessarily. As you're kind of like walking past this collapsed building and like the chimney that remains, it's sort of like the camera like focuses for just like a brief moment on this sort of pile of debris, and inside of it there are these sort of strange looking sort of like stick dolls that appear to have been like coated in blood and inscribed with these strange sort of symbols tied together in this like bundle that is sort of just like lying there amidst the debris of the chimney. This sort of malevolent air rising off of it. But the characters pass it by unaware and make their leave from the camp, successfully having delivered their supplies and dealing with the Ankegs that have attacked it.
Do we get another scary shiver running down our backs?
No,
No?
you just
Nothing?
don't even notice. Nobody's watching you or anything.
I feel like there's some Jumanji music playing.
Probably, yeah. So you guys managed to successfully return to the town, whether you sort of like head back kind of the way you came and go that way, or just go straight there, or down the river or whatever. You managed to make your way successfully back to town without being further bothered along the way. So you guys can get your payment for the quest, 100 gold, and in addition, seeing as you have now completed 2 of these intermediate level quests, you are eligible for promotion and a level up.
Hooray.
Oh, so does everyone get a 20 gil?
Yeah, you get 100 gold, so divided by 5 would be 20 each.
I mean, Sug's leaving soon.
I'll take my 20 gold. I'll take my 20 gold,
He's
thanks.
still participating in the job.
I'll take my 20 gold.
Alright, fine. 20 gold, 20
You
gold.
can't metagame like that.
Alright, level 4.
Does the level up happen using the Launcher Plus character?
Yeah, you
Something,
can do it that
something.
way. A level 4 is usually like a pretty easy level.
I got feed him when it's still.
Because you just get a feat or an ability score increase.
I'm gonna get a telepathy feat because Nona has given me telepathy now.
Oh,
That's how I'm justifying it.
I honestly thought about taking that feat.
It's such a poor justification, but yeah, I don't care.
I get a new spell. Oh shit! All right, I'm big balling it. Rolling hit die. Here we go. All right, let's see.
He's so man.
Shooting for above 5, or else it
D8.
wasn't worth it.
D8 plus 2. Fuck yeah.
Below the average. I like it.
One lower than it could have been.
So, quickened healing, how does that work? As an action you can spend to keep points and roll a martial arc die. What's that?
That's just that's the damage of your monk fists, basically.
Did that make it to Tasha's?
It must have if it's coming up in the thing.
You regain a number of hit points equal to the number of rolled plus your proficiency bonus. Okay, I suppose I can heal myself and not depend on Frederick anymore.
Why don't you want to depend on me?
Oh, you don't have any healing. Yes, you're useless.
I do have healing. I've cast healing on you.
I healed you this session.
Literally just told me he's useless.
Alright. I'm taking oven activity. Sounds too good.
You can't stop.
Quickened
go.
healing.
Okay,
Okay, that's
It did
good.
make it to Tasha's, okay. Cool.
Ability score increase. Do I do something here?
Yeah, so you can either increase 2 skills by 1, increase 1 stat by 2, or you can elect not to do that and take like a feat. But I would probably just lean towards bumping an ability score up by 2.
Yeah, if you don't know what feat you want, it's not worth it.
Oh, Sug?
I have no idea what feat I want and which
Then yeah,
one
just
is.
pick the raw stat.
Yeah, I'd probably just bump up your dexterity to 20.
By 2
Just
and make it a
consider
20?
Mm-hmm.
Is it worth it?
It adds an extra
Since
plus one to hit and damage.
I mean, also,
You're-
Brad, you never know if I
And armor class, yeah. And initiative.
Oh, yeah.
if I keep failing to get my fucking ID and can't get this job, Brad, you never know. I could play for even longer while I'm unemployed and losing all my money.
Fun.
Okay.
But you
Before
can-
leveling, after
you can
leveling, plus
pretend-
1 plus.
You can pretend to have gainful employment and make money in the game.
Yeah.
That's true. I could just sell drugs in real life and then sell them to Frederick in game.
Exactly.
Question. Sorry to interrupt. It says before leveling I have the dexterity plus 4, and after leveling dexterity plus 5. Maybe I should do a 1 and 1 somewhere. I don't know.
No, so like
Because of
when you have stats, the only things that matter are the even numbers. So if like you bump an even number to an odd number, it's not going to make a difference because the bonus only goes up on the even numbers.
Mhm.
So you want to
So,
put both. You want to put both points into dexterity, or
okay. Then it's as good as it's going to get. Okay, apply changes.
and that's the max. 20 is the maximum without like special magic items or anything like that.
Mhm.
Dancing lights is a
Okay,
cantrip.
so my armor class went up to 18.
Your armor class should go up. Your
Good.
to hit and damage should go up. Your initiative goes up.
hmm
Dancing Lights is actually just kind of bad. It's like mechanically what it
Kind
does.
of
is not good.
amazing.
But speed still stays the same.
Yeah, your speed doesn't increase again until later.
Next time you get a level, you could take the mobile feat to get 10 more feet of movement.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I should take Thunderclap so I can have a cantrip that deals damage. Maybe if they
You
fail
have
save.
Vicious Mockery. What do you mean?
Why do you need a cantrip that deals damage? You have
already have
weapons.
one.
You have a scimitar.
Have swords. Yeah, it's
You
true.
have swords.
I mean, I'm kind of liking the dancing lights because I always get light. No, now we can dance. Oh, and it could be good for my shows as well. Oh, sold it. Dancing lights.
What's the light radius on those?
It's
is
4 at 10 feet, I think, right? 10 dim. 4 globules,
Yep.
10 dim.
Each of them have 10 dim, and also they can't go more than 20 feet apart from each other.
Okay, maybe not then. Let's see. Minor illusion, I suppose. Also good.
I mean,
I just don't like dancing lights. I'm just giving it shit. It's not terrible. It's just not as good as light.
I mean,
I know, that's
it's a
kind of
little
thing.
bit more like light is stationary. These you can like move around and like do other
Light's
things.
only
There's
stationary
also-
if you don't cast on a rock and throw it.
There's also the other part of dancing lights where you can like have it like mimic
Make a little humanoid thing.
humanoid thing
Yeah.
and like as a distraction. Like,
Isn't
it's more versatile.
It is more versatile. Isn't it also concentration though?
Probably.
Or am I? It's something weird. Like there's like so many things that I just dislike.
It is
concentration.
it is concentration.
It is also concentration. And
be
it only
fair-
lasts a minute as opposed to the hour of the light spell. But
It's
yeah,
not concentrating
fair,
on
I don't-
anything else anyways.
I don't actually have any other concentration things.
that's true. But the real question is, can your character even keep up his attention span for a minute? So
Hey,
no.
the spell doesn't say I have to do that.
He has to make concentration.
You know,
checks
when
every
you
now
said
and
concentration, and I thought concentration in Friedrich, and that will probably fail.
Mm-hmm.
Dancing lights. I've done it. It's in my sheet. No
So,
taking
yeah.
it back now.
He's done it.
That's pretty poggers.
Pog
I get a new spell. Here we go. Cantrip.
Is it going to be useful at all?
All my spells are useful. I don't know what you're talking about.
Sure.
But I should be able to try and make it next Wednesday, Brad. And,
And,
then after that, it's a hit. Well, I don't know.
Yeah. So, I guess before we wrap things up here, just as a little preview of what has come, there are of course 3 new quests available at your new rank.
Yay!
And they are the Axholm quest. Let me see. This
Can you
one.
make it a tiny bit larger?
It's very large.
Well, I
You
don't
can
see
always-
anything.
You can always zoom in.
You can zoom in, yeah.
Well,
Um,
embedded in a mountain south of Thandal, the nation dwarven first Axon, which has been sealed for years. If a dragon attack is imminent, the people of Phandalin can evacuate in it and take refuge.
That one
Okay.
seems really important for
That-
the
that-
current
that's-
situation.
That seems like a really important quest, yeah.
there is
If we take this one, can you imagine how long it will take for the town master to slip the coins under the door?
If that happens again, you've seen what I'll do to the door. all I
there is also the Dragon Barrow quest.
That also seems really important.
And finally, there's the Woodland Manse quest.
And
we
have been sighted in growing numbers near Hunting Lodge.
Now,
We've just been there.
is this like you can only do 2 of them?
No, you can do all 3 of them. You only have to do 2 of them, but you can do all 3.
I mean, it's not gonna matter for me because like I'm not gonna be here for that long. But my character wants to do all 3 of these things. He especially wants to take care of the orcs at the Neverwinterwood.
Yeah. The Axholm
They're
quest,
not-
I feel
they're
like we
not
actually
Neverwinter
cannot.
Wood.
I feel like we have to do the Axholm quest, to be honest. I think that's a must.
I think we have to do all 3 of them.
Yeah, possibly in some regard. Oh, alright, got hold person now. Awesome.
Let's all work on dragon. Correct, dragon. I'm gonna hold you as a person.
Yes, the dragon. It will be whole personed.
It'll be whole person, exactly. I hope it can shape change it to a person. That way I can hold it.
Yeah, because that will totally change its type.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, I've got Shatter as well.
All right, so those are your 3 available quests. Next time, you'll decide which one you want to head out on first. And until then, who, I guess, would like to be in charge of the recap next week?
I feel like since it's Drake's last session, he should do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can, and if you don't mind me stealing your inspiration.
I mean, as long as you use it that session.
I'll refuse. I'll keep it forever.
Keep it forever. Walk away with it.
Has
Along with
anyone
the 20
even
gold.
used inspiration once?
Nope.
Nobody's using
Nope.
it.
I think James did.
James
I
has
also,
used it.
I
because
also
he's
have a
the only one
potion of
that's-
healing, but he's planning on giving it to you when he leaves.
Spoiler alert,
Okay,
you should
and
use
what
your
if Drake's
inspiration
not
for
here?
this.
We need a backup recap person, which
Yeah,
should be
If I
Friedrich.
die, it's yeah, that's something a good idea.
Yes, the backup is always James.
Or we can keep the same order we did it in. I don't remember who did it after I.
I think it was probably James. James or Drake. One of the two.
Like I say, it's Drake's last session.
If
Yeah,
I
we
don't
can
make
have-
it, we'll blame James.
We can have Drake do it. And if something weird happens and he's not here, then it always falls to James, because James is always the guy that it falls to.
Apparently.
Well, theoretically, I don't have to go anywhere next Wednesday, and I've already gotten my second COVID vaccine, so I'm not dying. So
Theoretically, he'll be here.
theoretically,
All right, so with that, we are done for the day. Congratulations on your level up and the successfully completed quest, and nothing ominous at all going on ever.
I could get warding wind.
No ominous? What are you talking about?
Nothing strange or ominous or evil or nefarious or anything. So we will be back next week. Until then, stay